So we're going for basic coil here. I'm gonna start you guys making smaller coils.
Yes. How much clay?
About, I would say, half a pound. A little less than half a pound.
So, fit in your hand like this.
Yeah.
Notice how he's flattening it out somewhat, getting it in the shape of a coil. Do not attempt to roll a coil from a big wad like this. Shape it the way you need it to begin with. Also notice how his coil is rolling from the palm of his hand all the way to the fingertips, and he's covering a large surface area from here to here, going back and forth.
And you really want to get to a dime size. Dime size is
For the depth.
For the depth, yeah.
The diameter.
Like the diameter, if I take this and break that off, this should be the size that you want. So once you're done with this, I mean, you just pretty much, you can set it aside.
Well, let's show them what happens, what a bad coil looks like, the technique for rolling out.
Okay, so here's my coil. And so they start here and they do this. Students and then they rock it.
Yes,
like
and notice
this.
how the clay is overlapping itself. If your ends look like that, and it sounds like that, and it's flat.
And then it also is starting to fold on itself and making air pockets.
Yes, exactly.
So you got a lot of things wrong going on with that, but just with a little bit of help, I mean,
you can compress it
together. We can roll
make it round again, and you may have to stop every once in a while and paddle it.
You can also turn it a little bit, like you're making bread or something. I used to tell my students I'm making French bread. So this is pretty round. I mean, we got it pretty even. Now, just take, for example, like I'm gonna break off the ends here. I'm checking to make sure that I've compressed that well. If a student rolls like this, it doesn't take very long for that to become pour. So you can actually very quickly distort, you know, if they're rolling like this, that even shape. And consistency is what you want in a coil. You want it to be consistent, you want it to be free of air pockets, and so you want it to be pretty round. And it's kind of, this can be saved. It's just a lot of work. Like it's better just to learn how to roll a really good coil. Now for your cup, I mean, this is definitely a pretty big coil for your cup.
But what happens if, say, this part is still good, and then we've got some divots here? What are some options?
I can break this off. It's one thing that I can do. I can come in here and kind of work this a little bit and twist this up a little bit and maybe roll that out like that.
Yeah, but if you have an area that's way too thin,
yeah,
you're gonna need to cut it.
We're gonna continue to roll this out and kind of show you guys. I mean, you can roll some small coils, and the reason why you learn how to roll coil, we'll start showing you. I'm actually pulling the clay down with my hand, so I'm.
And when he is rolling the coil, and when you guys are rolling the coil, you have very light pressure. You should not try to roll it out super thin quickly.
So I've got a little thin area right here. You see how it comes along and then whoop, dips there. And so I have to watch that when I'm...
And as it gets longer, it's going to be difficult because you don't want to roll your coil over the edge of the table and distort it and get poor edges.
We're going to take this in right here. I got 2 coils now. I don't need to continue. But I'm going to continue to take this a little thinner because I could use this coil for a lip of a pot too. You know, there's lots of things. I could use this coil in making handles. I could use this coil in my foot on the bottom of my mug. So coiling is not going to go away. I mean, it's something that you're going to have to practice and learn.
Yeah.
When you're storing this up, a good way to store these coils too is just like this. And then now I can put that in my bag. That's pretty much it. This is just basic coils. I'll have a more advanced video for you guys as we go along, but this is just basic coils. So.